Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's quite late here now in India, and I am recording this podcast as part two of my Looking Forward short series. I am Rajiv Chopra from the Dusty Mike Chronicles. The year 2025 is over and 2026 has begun. And boy, what a start! What an amazing end to the year, and what an amazing start to the year. The year ended with America bombing Nigeria and started by kidnapping the president of Venezuela. So the year is going to be interesting, challenging, and I don't think any of us knows what's going to happen. Anyway, it is time to make a lot of new resolutions and to break them. Since I shall be posting this episode about 2 weeks after the new year, I can confidently state that I have broken all the resolutions that I made on the 1st of January. So I am clear. The resolutions have been broken and I can move on. So let me talk about some of the things that I want to do, some of the actions that I want to take this year. I intended to monetize my website, my Substack publication, and my 500px account last year, and I did not do any of them. I also intended to monetize my Medium publication, which I did not do. So, I'm sad to report that in this respect I failed, but I shall hopefully succeed this year. I really don't know what to do with a couple of other sites I have, a couple of other accounts I have on Buy Me a Coffee and Instagram, but I'm going to find my way around the mystery of these two social media accounts in due course. Maybe I've been spreading myself too thin, but you need to be on several platforms, unfortunately. Maybe I need to focus. So I will focus mainly on Substack, Medium, LinkedIn, and YouTube, as well as Instagram. And I might use Buy Me a Coffee as a way to sell some of my AI art, and I will link it to my second Instagram account. So that's something I will do, and I will also set up a shop on my photography website. I have neglected my website and I need to recover that. Towards the middle of 2026, I intend to explore the possibility of teaching photography online. I'm already teaching photography via a school, but I intend to expand my efforts and to ensure that I get some students online. There's much work to do, and in the middle of all of this, I wish to travel. I don't know how many of my travel plans will fructify, but at least a few of them will fructify. I'm sure of that. I have a few places in mind. They are on the horizon: Calcutta, Shantiniketan, Munsiari, Nagaland. And my plans for Sikkim always seems to be jinxed. And this afternoon, as I was planning to record this podcast, I started thinking about Kathmandu. So maybe I will go to Kathmandu and Nepal, but maybe not this year. Let's see. Who's going to pay for these trips? I have to pay for these trips. I wish I had a rich, famous person who is going to sponsor my trips, my photography, my love for cameras and fountain pens and writing paper. But I'm not a great influencer, unfortunately, again. So I have to try to monetize my work and see how I can actually build myself as an influencer without pouting like one of those Kardashian sisters. I also wish I was a gentleman of leisure in the old British tradition with an independent source of income and wealth, of course. And if I had an independent source of wealth, I would become a polymath, but I would not follow in the glorious tradition of Bertie Wooster. I hope you've heard of Bertie Wooster. Now, even though Larry Bone and Raj assure me that I have a good podcasting voice, I feel I must inject some emotion into my drone. I am convinced that a bit too much of the corporate drone still exists in me, but I'm somehow not able to jump around and dance with excitement and use all sorts of expletives and whatever. But we shall see. And hopefully, the improvement in my enunciation over the year will also help my YouTube channel grow. Yeah, I'd love to speak like Josh Rogan, but I think his name is Josh Rogan, right? But I can't abuse the way that he does, and some of what he says is actually makes sense. The chains of my old corporate world have been melting away, and I have begun to break free from the pressure to be extra polite when I speak and when I write. In the meantime, however, the world has changed, and while I am not a member of the woke generation or anything to do with woke, I just don't understand it. I also don't believe that you need to be abusive to make your point felt, But what is bothersome is the rise of paranoid authoritarian leaders and the growing fractures in society and the rise of strident, bigoted, jingoistic voices. And I hear them not just on social media, but I hear them all around me. And there was a time when I thought of these people as being funny, but no longer. I consider most of them to be cowards. And even when they attack you in person, they do not speak logically. They cannot hold a logical argument. They resort to abuse and ridicule very fast. So a challenge before me in 2026 is going to find a tone that allows me to express my voice, make my opinion heard without having to waste time on trolls. I have reduced my political reading and I intend to moderate my political reading in the future because I want to concentrate on, further building my photography knowledge, understanding, reading on history, on environment, and other concepts around critical thought, education, and culture. So I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if I'm left of center or right of center because nobody has been able to tell me where the center is. It's like democracy. Nobody can define democracy, and they all think that they sound good when they defend democracy. So I have made a few resolutions and I have actually shared some of my plans with you, which I hope I will achieve this year. If I don't achieve them, I can't sack myself, huh? As usual, all of us start the new year full of hope. The previous year has passed into history, and it's passed into history's tired, dusty pages. And yet, there is hope. We all believe that our resolutions and our cheer on New Year's Eve will somehow create magic or a world of promise. Now, we can argue and say that this belief is stupid and that we deceive ourselves. But why not? Once I believed that New Year's resolutions and parties were all rubbish and crap, and I viewed them through a cynical lens. But now I think a bit differently. Have fun. As long as people cling to magic, cling to hope, and they cling to the belief that the future will be brighter, there is hope for humanity. As long as there are people who are willing to stand up and make their voices heard, and as long as there are people who are willing to believe that there is a better world out there, as long as there are people who are willing to preserve their souls and not sell their souls, there is hope for humanity. So, see you all in the next episode of the Dusty Mic Chronicles. Rajiv Chopra signing off, and I will end with my usual advertising pitch. Share your thoughts, put in a comment, bung in a like, spread the word, subscribe to the Dusty Mic Chronicles. See you next time. Ciao.